Yo, 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 people. I don't know if anybody's in here, but let's see what happens. Yo, yo, yo. I don't know if anybody can hear me. Don't know who's in here yet, but let's see who we can get. Let's see what we can see here. Oh boy. Need to invite a few people here. Let me see who I can add. Oh man.
Hello, hello.
What's up, Tiago? So I wanna.
You're gonna crap them out.
Yeah, hang on a second.
I'm still having dinner. That guy, as soon as you ask them to chat in private, bye bye.
Yeah, they don't want to fuck with me, man.
Yeah, they know
do
that
not want to fuck with me.
they are presenting bullshit, man.
They do not want to fuck with me.
Yeah, you know the numbers, you know.
They know I know my shit.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he checked me. He looked at my profile. He was probably thinking,
yeah.
"Oh, we seen this guy shit before. He doesn't fuck around."
Oh yeah. As soon as you saw your calls, he got chicken, you know. Hey Tony.
They don't want to screw with me, dude.
Yeah.
They don't want to screw with me. Yeah, it was just interesting to hear him say that shit because I know something about doing measurement and signature intelligence. And I'm telling you here right now that there ain't no way they can do that shit out in space.
Yeah.
There's just no way. There's no way they can do that shit out in space. Because here's the thing. Every single instrument, man-made instrument, generates a particular ultra-low frequency vibration, so to speak. It gives off a specific energy frequency level. Okay, and there's that would change. See, they wouldn't have a way to measure that on Earth before they launched it. They wouldn't be able to have a way to test it. So when you got it up in space, it might not work properly. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Because you don't because the device is not grounded.
yeah. You
You
don't have.
tested it in a grounded environment, and then when you got to put it into quote unquote a vacuum, and it's not grounded to anything, and it's just out there in microgravity floating on its own, it's going to behave completely fucking different than what it did on the ground. And when
Yeah,
you're talking about measurement and signature intelligence, that's a classified discipline on every level. I mean, these guys talking about shooting lasers in space. Okay, fine. I'm not going to say you can't, but we know where space is, and we know that there's atmosphere at many levels. I mean, the
yeah,
Hubble's there in atmosphere, the ISS is in atmosphere, so they're not sending it out into a complete vacuum. There's no fucking way they're doing that.
yeah.
There's
There's
no
no
way
vacuum.
well, that's the point.
That's why they don't test it on the ground level in vacuum, basically.
Yeah, and because they can't.
Yeah.
Because they can't. Okay? It's just, I'm going to send GeoShifter. Let me see if I can. I'm going to put the link. I'm going to GeoShifter in here. I definitely want him in.
Yeah.
If you come in here, I'm going to speak to everybody, but if you come in here and act stupid, you'll be acting stupid on your own. But, you know, I don't want to have to get ridiculous with people. I just don't want to do that. But, you know, I don't know how to. I'm new at this Hangout stuff, so, you know, I don't know how to give people controls and all that kind of crap.
Oh, you have to.
I'm just expecting people just to be. If you know how, do you know how to do it?
You have to on the chat. As soon as some people write, you click on the 3 points, and you can make a moderator. And by doing that, you give control to the person also.
Or maybe can I give it to you?
Yeah, you can give it. Did I write on the chat already?
No, I don't think you did.
Okay, I'm writing.
Yeah, I got my boy Russo in here too. I want to give it to him.
Yeah.
What? No, no. Oh, wait. You mean on the chat, on our group chat, or on the
No,
the watch
the chat
page?
yeah, the watch page.
Oh, the watch page.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You give wrenches there.
Okay, moderator. Okay, I got this down now. Alrighty.
Yeah.
We're looking good, baby. We're looking good. My boy Rockin', he's good to go too. I'm gonna give him. Yeah. I'm Home Depot today. I'm giving out tools for free.
Hammer.
I'm Home
It's hammer
Depot
time.
today. That's right. We got a yard sale on crescent wrenches
Yeah.
and sledgehammers. So I hand them out. I hand them out. So yeah, anybody want to come in here, Gio? You know, I'd love to hear what you got to say about this. I know you kind of a technical guy too, and yeah, what they were saying, I came in kind of on the back end of the conversation, what they were talking about with regard to LIGO and LISA, and I kept asking this guy for the data. I want to see the data. I want to see the data. You know, what's up? It's Justin on my desk. Yeah, let me give Bernard, let me give him something. Come on in here, Justin. I put the link up for people. Come on in here. I don't mind. I don't mind, but just don't act stupid. Don't try to screw me up, nothing like that.
Yeah.
Because I ain't looking
Or
to play
gonna
that kind of
get
trouble.
wrenched.
But yeah, what they were talking about, and I came in on the back end of it. You know, I think the guy from ESA, Paul, what was his name? Paul something. He was talking about how they had this triangulated type of mirror laser kind of contraption that they showed online that they were showing, and I'm like, wait a minute. You know, I'm not saying that that's impossible, but you'd have to keep everything at the same level for that laser type of contraption to work. That don't work like that. There's no way you could get three vehicles moving in unison like that. They would have to be connected, and a laser won't keep them that way. I mean, come on, man. I mean, this is crap, man. I mean, I'm asking this guy for the data. He's telling me go to Wikipedia, go to Google. I'm like, man, you fucking Google it. I don't Google fucking shit for school. You know? We use official fucking databases. And see, here's the thing. He could have easily just pulled the fucking data up. You know? It says, here goes the link to it. He's like, Google this, Google that. Man, listen, do you know if you learned how to use Google's Boolean programming, you could put anything on Google and you could be a fucking genius in a week. You know, and everyone would believe it. You could put out all these fake articles, all that kind of shit. You know, I'm not saying the internet, you know, is not a good place to be looking for information, but you can't just be going off of the first top 10, top 20 researchers.
Yeah. You need to research.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna rock in the. If nigga shows up, you kick that motherfucker out of here. I gave you a wrench, Rockin'. You got a wrench, Rockin'.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rockin's got one. He shows up, kick his ass out. But yeah, I mean, some of the stuff, I don't know. Let me try to type in LIGO. Old gravitational. They're saying they're doing this shit on the ground. How are they detecting these supermassive black holes and these gravitational waves on the ground? I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I haven't researched the data yet. I haven't looked at it. But I'm going to see. Okay. LIGO scientific.
Could they be tracking magnetism instead of gravity? Because
and that's my thing.
Yeah.
If they're doing it on the ground, they're not getting, you know, uncorrupted data. I mean, you know how much gravity there exists on the ground coming up from the ground? You know how much electromagnetism affects all that shit? I mean, that's you don't need to be a scientist to know that. You just don't.
That equipment is flawed to detect the supposed gravitational waves. There are a lot of influences in there. That should be measured in space, you know, with the station doing that, not on the ground.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense, man, what they're saying. I mean, I want it to make sense. I do. I want to understand this. But when you show me a picture, okay, the Laser Interferometer Space Antenna Project, okay, so it's on NASA's website right now. Hang on a second. And I'm gonna let me see if I can do a share screen here real quick. Let me do the share screen because they didn't really want to show anything. They didn't want to show a damn thing. You know? They just did not want to show it. Yeah. Event Skeptic, you can join. Is he a good guy? You ain't gonna go crazy, are you? Let's throw Event Skeptic on here. Yeah, he's in here. Yeah, he's already in.
Yeah.
Okay. He's already in. So what I want to do is, I want to go to this LISA project. Okay. This is new to me. This is definitely new to me. And I want to take a look at this because when you look at these three objects, they'd all have to be level and remain that way for this type of triangular shaped gravitational wave detector to work. They say it's a space-borne project. Now, two things I want to know. Where the fuck is this thing? At what altitude? And what speed is traveling at? Because according to them, they said here the space-borne gravitational wave detector, LISA, was studied in a great deal as a collaborative mission between NASA and ESA. Ultimately, NASA and ESA decided not to proceed with the mission. LISA was not the highest ranked. Oh, they didn't even proceed with the mission. Did that guy just not say that they launched this fucking thing?
Yeah.
Am I wrong on this, people? Am I wrong to assume this?
It's another CGI effect.
I mean, they're saying they never launched this fucking thing. Let's see what they got on documentation. I mean, this is ridiculous, man. This is absolutely ridiculous. Here you go. NGO updated assessment study report. We don't want to see that. I mean, do we want to say no? That's for the MGO. LISA assessment study. So you got the yellow book. Let's see what ESA says. LISA study report. Oh man, they don't even make the damn thing available for you to read. And look, it's supposed to be 141 pages. It's supposed to be 100.
Not convenient, you know.
Let me link publication. Oh wait, it's downloading. It's downloading. Hold on. Just give it a chance.
Okay.
I'm downloading. 2011 report. So let's go to LIGO. Second confirmation detected. Now see, they again, I'm not gonna put too much focus on the fact that they're showing us all, you know, composite imaging of what this shit's supposed to look like, right? But here they're saying that these black holes are coming together. That's what they're saying. They're saying a shitload of these are coming together, creating what's called a supermassive black hole, right? A supermassive. So if you got these black holes are capable of literally swallowing up our sun, right?
Galaxies.
Galaxies. So if you got two of these fucking things coming in, and they're saying these things exist out there, does that not freak you out? When you think this guy says that this one of these is fucking 30 times the size of the sun. 30 times the size of the sun.
But they say they are recent or in the past, like the other.
They said that the second detection, they said that they've been looking at this shit.
In the real-time, present time.
That's what they. Am I wrong on that? Is it? That's what I heard him say.
That's new, man. That's a new one. They were talking about.
Look at this. Hey, here's a section right here. Mapping LIGO's detections on the sky. A collage image. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, if you were to read, you listen to what this guy's saying, that these supermassive black holes are coming together, that gives me the impression, fuck, we're about to get swallowed the fuck up. If you got that many black holes coming together, I mean, you got to start asking yourself, what the fuck is going on? Here's the paper right here, Unveiling a Hidden Universe. And see, all this guy had to do was literally go to the website and show this to us. And he's trying to say, based on this photo right here, somebody's got their watch page. Somebody's got their watch page on. Who is it?
Let me see. No.
Okay, let's go back. So, let me go back to the document. He's saying that these three disc shape, happen to be flat tops. How ironic is that? We're creating this laser beam type of detection capability where they're saying these black holes are coming together. This is supposed to be the Earth now. Alright? This is our sun. All the shit's coming together, and again, this is just an approximation. And they're able to detect this. So my question is this. If these things are 1.5 million kilometers away out from the Earth, right? 1.5 million kilometers. I got a few questions. One, show me the data when you launched all of this and you got it out there. Show me the data. I want to see when the launch occurred, when all of this shit got out there, and when you turned on the switch for it to do what it's supposed to do. Because according to the website, 2011, they scrapped this mission. But they're saying they're able to detect this.
What? They scrapped the mission?
I don't know what the hell this is. But let's look at the assessment study report. What they're saying. Numerical simulation of merging black holes. The search for gravitational waves requires detailed knowledge of the expected signals. Scientists of the Albert Einstein Institute's Numerical Relativity Group simulate collisions of black holes and neutron stars on supercomputers using sophisticated codes developed at the Institute. These simulations provide insights into the possible structure of gravitational wave signals. Gravitational waves are so weak that these computations significantly increase the probability of identifying gravitational waves in the data acquired by the detectors. Now, they're saying that these objects are 1.5 million kilometers out away from the Earth, right? So that data's got to be transmitted back, right? So that they can input that data into a supercomputer to create this simulation,
Yeah.
to generate this picture, right? I'm going to tell you here right now, none of us trust this. You can't trust this. They don't even use definitive words in their abstract language to describe what it is they're doing. They won't show you the real-time data. And I guarantee you that data is corrupted. Or if you know how to read the data, you'll find where the problems are and where it's been fabricated. I mean, every mystery, every problem, every issue can be solved with mathematics. You will always be able to find it. Look at the event rates. They're measuring things 10 to the minus 4th power hertz. I mean, that shit. Listen, that frequency band, you can measure shit on Earth at this fucking level. So if you're supposed to be out in space, why wouldn't this be magnified 3, 4, 5 times? I'm going to tell you why. It's exactly what Dr. James Gates said when he says our technological limit to measurement here on Earth is 10 to the minus 18. 10 to the minus 18. I put out a video showing that, hey, they're talking about looking at things 10 to the minus 35. These guys can only measure 10 to the minus 4. You got fucking technology on this planet that you can measure at that level. Massive black hole mergers, 1 to the minus 1 light year to 1,000 years to the minus 1. I mean, come on, man. I mean, this is stuff I'm studying right now in applied physics. And I can tell you here, looking at this document, if you're not taking applied physics, I just take a quick look at this. These are bullshit numbers, man. These are bullshit numbers. Let's say the total mass, including margin, launch adapter, and propellant, 6,155 kilograms. Really? At 1.5 million kilometers? And it's what they're saying. You guys, all the information on the payload. This is incredible, man. Did I lose people? Hello? Did I lose people?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
You know what I find really interesting, though, is it seems that the data and all the information is supporting it being a simulation from start to finish.
Exactly. And that's what I was trying to get that guy to show us. I kept asking him the questions in the live chat. Where's the data? Where's the data? Where's the data? He goes, you can Google it. Well, okay, guess what? I just fucking Googled it. And guess what? This is all computer simulated. This ain't real, man. This shit, there's fucking nothing out there. There's absolutely fucking nothing out there. It's impossible.
It's algorithms.
Hi guys. Did you find the LIGO data?
Yeah, I mean, here goes Lisa right here. And the LIGO data. Well, this is Lisa. Let me see. Here goes like, did you got LIGO? Do you want to do share screen, Gio, so you can pull it up?
No, it's okay. I will look on your screen. I tried to find the data a few times, but I can't find much information on the website.
Here goes the. Did you go to LIGO? Did you go to LIGO Caltech?
I believe so. It's been a while ago that I looked into it. But I could not find much, so I never looked into it much. But a few people told me that the proof that they had for gravity waves, the LIGO experiment, a few people told me that they retracted that a few weeks after it.
Well, here goes the data right here. I just pulled it up. LIGO scientific collaboration. Observation of gravitational waves from a binary black hole merger. They called it Virgo.
Cool. So where is the proof?
I mean, this is. Here's the thing. If this is all plot graph illustrations. We all learn this in mathematics, okay? In statistical analysis. What I want to see is, was this a video? And this was just a snapshot. Because if it was a video, I want to know where. It says right here it was conducted at Hanford, Washington, and Livingston, Louisiana. But again, when you hear what they were saying, that this was conducted on the ground, how do you know that this gravitational wave wasn't something generated on the Earth? You don't. The guy said how you have all these vibrational things that are happening. The ground is always moving. So if the ground is always moving, then how the hell are you going to say that you put this up in the sky, Lisa? It makes no sense. Look what they're saying. The first mission concept studies for spaceborne gravitational wave observatory can be traced back to activities in the 1980s at the Joint Institute for Laboratory Astrophysics, leading to a full description of mission comprising 3 drag-free spacecraft in a heliocentric orbit, then named Laser Antenna for Gravitational Radiation Observation in Space, LIGO'S. In the early 1990s, LISA was proposed to ESA, first to then M3 cycle. M3 cycle, later as a cornerstone to the Horizon 2000 Plus program, is captured in the first Yellow Book of 1996. At this time, LISA still consisted of 6 spacecraft, but showed already the key features of today's LISA: an interferometer measurement of distances, long baselines, 5 times 10 to the 6 kilometers. All right, that's like fucking, yeah, that's 1.5 million fucking miles. Drag-free spacecraft based on inertial sensors and the familiar LISA cartwheel orbits. Cartwheel. So that means that this thing is turning end over end, stationary in space. That's what they're saying. The cartwheel orbit. That means it's spinning around, you know, and it's not going anywhere. It's just staying there. But somehow it manages to stay in perfect alignment so the lasers can stay aligned. And it can detect these gravitational waves. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying now.
It's in geocentric orbit with the Milky Way, I guess.
This is incredible. This is incredible. Let's see what else these. Let me know. I want to find something juicy here.
I think it's pretty simple. 50 years ago, they tried to prove gravity, and they said they had proven gravity with dropping a hammer on the moon. But no one believed it, so now they are trying to come up with things like this, and they make it so complicated that no one will look into it, and even if you do so, you will not understand anything of it.
They are using the principles of magnetism on this.
Or maybe they just found something that they don't know what it is, and they say it's gravity. Maybe it has to do with magnetism, who knows?
Yeah, the magnetism is not well studied, you know. We know about the poles, but we don't know about the center of the magnetism.
And did you hear the NASA guy Ira says that they're trying to study how the sun's radiation pulse actually contributes to pushing vehicles, satellites in, you know.
Oh, the sun.
Yeah, he's saying that the sun is helping with creating velocity and acceleration of these spacecraft to get out to the distances that's bullshit.
It's the solar sails. They are talking about that.
Dude, if that were true, that means half of the shit that they said is in orbit is gone.
Yeah, we'd be out by Pluto by now.
Yeah.
I mean that's common sense. I want to go to that section where they talk about what's gravitational waves, because I'm still trying to understand it. I keep hearing about this all the time. I ask it in my own physics course. You know, what are gravitational waves? And he says, you know, it's a theoretical concept. That's what my professor's saying. It's theoretical. Wait. So you don't know? Well, basically, yeah, you're right. So why are we talking about this? He goes, because we're trying to understand. Understand what? You don't know what it is you're trying to measure.
And they are trying to measure based on the false principles, you know, like gravity.
Man, they want Einstein literally to stay alive, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really trying to protect this guy's legacy.
Instead of using the theories of Tesla with pressure.
Okay, let's see if they can define what gravitational waves are. Here they go. Electromagnetic waves are self-sustaining oscillations of the electric. Yeah. So there you go. But here's what they say. They said electromagnetic waves are self-sustaining oscillations of the electric and magnetic fields propagating through space-time. Okay, so you just combine space and time. Well, did they factor in the concept that time is actually different when you're supposed to be fucking a million miles out in the space, and the clock you got out in space and the clock you got on the ground are going to be drastically different? Now, I know that they do the computation for this, but they don't really know how time actually fluctuates 1.5 million fucking miles away, because it's always, and here's where their entire conversation gets debunked. When you look at the concept of gravitational waves, right, that means that you're experiencing these fluctuations and anomalies that are not consistent. They're so dynamic and changing. You're trying to measure this, but they change so much that you're trying to develop a pattern of when the oscillations occur, right? So what they're saying here, by contrast, gravitational waves are oscillations of space-time itself. Wait a minute. Time is different when you're fucking in orbit versus you're on the ground, right? Because we're on a fixed plane that's not rotating. They're supposed to be out above wherever the fuck they say they are. So they're trying to measure an environment they think is moving and oscillating based on science they conducted in a stationary setting, which is just basic fucking math.
That's completely
Basic mathematics don't fucking exist where they say they want to go measure this shit at. Gravitational waves, you can't predict. You don't even know where the shit originates from. They don't even know how this has originated. So how are you going to measure something when you don't know where the genesis of the activity is actually coming from? And then this guy says that it has to do with expansion, that gravitational waves are a result of expansion. Okay, if it's expanding, at what rate? At what angle? At what velocity? And for how long? When I asked that question of Roberto Conti, he couldn't answer. He says, Google it. Well, guess what? There ain't no answer for it on Google, you idiot. There's no answer for that.
Yeah.
And the reason why there's no answer for that, because no one knows. I mean, these people just don't want to admit they don't know. They just throw all this stuff out, and then they blocking everybody, trying to ask real questions because they can't answer it. I mean, look, here goes a diagram they create.
That looks like the sun's sine wave, actually.
Yeah, this in the middle, right?
Correct. And also, I'd like to know why they just want to look over redshift and how it was debunked by Alton Harp with the quasar theory, right?
Oh my God, this is and here's where they insult us even more, you guys that are on the panel and everybody on the chat. Look what it says. A cartoon illustrating the passage of gravitational waves through a ring of masses. A cartoon. They're basing their science on fucking Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
And
Where
Marvin.
is the reality?
They're basing their science on Bugs Bunny and Marvin the Martian.
Welcome to Looney Tunes.
I mean, there it is right there. The best they can do. They're supposed to have this thing out there, and the best they can do is a cartoon illustrating the passage of gravitational wave through a ring of masses.
At least they're saying it's a plane.
Yeah, here goes a linear line, yeah.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I'm going to put this up for everybody if anybody wants to know where to go get it.
Put
But
the
this
link
is-
on the chat. There, I placed it on
I
the-
think, no, this is a document I actually downloaded, to be honest with you. This is one I actually downloaded.
See, that right there, the speed of light is being under question right now because I believe they found out that it's not whole numbers. The Planck measurement that was the constant has been changed.
Yeah, it has. They have changed it. They have changed it.
They are thinking count for the ether.
This is crazy, man.
It's
Yeah.
once you have the Planck constant changed, everything gets thrown out. By the way.
Yeah.
So they're describing
Revolution.
gravitational waves as electromagnetic waves. So wait a minute. Let me ask everybody this. Can you have both? Can a gravitational wave be
No.
an electromagnetic wave? No, because we can measure electromagnetic waves, right?
Not all of it.
Correct.
Not all of it. So why do they keep saying, why do they keep comparing it to electromagnetic waves? That's what they're saying here. Just as electromagnetic waves are generated by accelerated charges, gravitational waves are generated by accelerated masses. Okay, then what's the mass? Because last I checked, you can't measure the mass of a fucking black hole. That's the reason why they call it a black hole. Because they don't know how fucking big it really is and how fucking it's just black. Once you go inside that fucker, you're deep down in a rabbit hole with Alice. You don't know where the hell you are.
It's supposed to be all the inverse of physics, basically.
Well, if you see, Hawking was actually, in my opinion, defeated in a debate where he actually admitted that the energy that's taken in by the black hole is never destroyed, right? So some scientists are stepping out of the boundaries, but how far? We got to get Robert on the whole thing here.
Now look at this. This is the experiment they conducted on the ground. This is the Michelson interferometer with laser beam splitter, end mirrors, and photo detector. Now here's what they claim this is what's supposed to be up in space. They did this on the ground. Now remember what he said in that chat that they had, that hangout? He says that somehow they were able to calibrate those 3 satellites with disk and scopes to where it's better for them to conduct this experiment out in space because they don't have to deal with the constant vibrations and the movement on Earth. So they conducted the first experiment on Earth, and this is what they came up with.
This is the same, almost the same diagram of the test of light.
Exactly.
It's the same test.
I mean, do they not realize that light, a photo detector is going to perform differently on Earth than it would out in space?
And where's the ether measurement in this formula here?
This was done on the ground. That's my point. This was done on the ground. This one was done on the ground, the first one they did. How are gravitational waves detected? Let's see what they have to say. Einstein's great epiphany was that gravity is the manifestation of the curvature of space-time, the background for all the interactions. Man, come on. You know what? Einstein fucking house was full of fucking papers he took from the fucking patent office. How the hell could he test any of this?
Wife also. He robbed his wife.
This dude was dirt poor, man. Who the hell would trust this guy to go into their laboratory? They didn't even have the sophisticated instruments to literally come up with this information, man. And you're telling me to this very day we're still trying to create what it is he talked about? Come on, man. This is...
Because it's not real. So you can never find it.
It's a goose chase.
It's getting more and more ridiculous every week.
A snipe hunt, we call it. Snipe hunting.
Now get this. Now, being a student who's in graduate school, I have to review. We have to conduct what's called literature reviews. So if I were doing this for a class, I've got to peer review and scholarly review this paper. Now, I'm not a scholar yet, of course, but I've got to use this paper for my paper. Now, we have to always analyze this work. I'm reading this second sentence here that starts with LISA. It says, LISA, as an astronomical observatory for gravitational waves, has some characteristics that are different from observatories of electromagnetic radiation. So the first question, research question that I'm going to be tasked with being asked and answering by my professor is, okay, you're stating in your paper that there's some characteristics that are different from observatories of electromagnetic radiation. What are the characteristics? That's what my professor's going to, what are the characteristics, Robert? And I'm going to keep looking through the paper, and I'm like, Professor, I'm sorry, but they don't state what the characteristics are. And you know what he's going to say to me? Well, then you can't use that information because you don't know what the other characteristics are. I say, well, you know what? Then I'm going to have to dispense with the entire paper because this paper is not complete. They don't say what the other characteristics are. What are the characteristics that differentiate from electromagnetic radiation.
There are none.
That's my point. So what they're detecting is electromagnetic fucking radiation that is
and
acting.
micromagnetism also.
Exactly, microwave detection that's somehow combined and is creating some weird fucking anomaly that they can't explain. So they decided to call it gravitational waves.
Yeah.
It's got to be what Einstein was saying. Come on, man.
Because that Gauss guy only invented the emitter for the waves on the outside of the poles, not on the center. It doesn't measure anything on the center, where is basically all the energy converging in there.
Okay. Well, guess what? I think, who was it that said? I think it might have been Invent Skeptical Geo. Here's where they actually admit LISA is bullshit. Here it is. Here's the proof. Right here. Here's the proof. Right here.
Can in principle,
LISA can in principle see right back to the end of the inflationary epoch through all stages of decoupling, symmetry breaking, and particle creation. In principle, people. In principle means we put in the data and we tested it out on the supercomputer, so it should work, but we're really not sure.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's a belief system. You have to believe it.
Man. There goes the proof right there. There goes the sentence right there. LISA can, in principle, see right back to the end of the inflationary epoch. In principle. They didn't say it definitively could do it. They said if we put it together, in principle it should work, but don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it.
Yeah.
That's science.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm not even going to go through these entire 141 pages. I'm going to just give it to all you guys, and then you can decide for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, this is bizarre. This is really bizarre. I mean, they didn't want to answer, and this is where I got the publication from, guys. Let me put it in the link for you guys so you can read it. Let me put it out here. Oh, the video, it says the video is unavailable.
Oh,
Was
really?
that a guy from? Was that a guy from ESA in the other hangout?
Wait, what the fuck just happened?
No, it's the wrong chat. You are putting on you educate yourself. It's not your page, watch page.
No, the watch page is not showing. Hang on here for a second. Let me. Somebody blocked me, man.
No, it might
It says
use the link.
It says this video has been removed by the user.
It's the wrong link.
That's the wrong link, I think, yeah.
Yeah, it's educate yourself.
Are we still showing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Working
good.
for me, yeah.
Wait, hold on here for a second. What the hell just happened?
You're on the wrong page or the wrong link.
Yeah, hang on for a second. Let me go to my own damn channel here. But yeah, man, I mean, it's just.
Well, at least they are honest and they say that in principle it's proof. Just like they say the blue marble is a composite picture.
You have to go to Video Manager and live transmission to see your live hangout.
Yeah, hang on a second. Let me I wonder if somebody just screwed with us, man. Somebody just screwed with me?
Welcome to Google Hangout.
Yeah.
It was weird that you were showing the chat.
That's the wrong link.
Put here on the chat of the hangout.
Okay. I'm back. So let me do this. Let me share the link with everybody to that file that I was showing. Let me give that to everybody, and then everyone can read that themselves, learn about it,
and use some popcorns also.
I think most people are not gonna enjoy to read it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and that's fine, but you know,
That's
I mean,
fine, yeah.
that conversation that they just had, they didn't want us talking about that.
It looked like a bunch of Star Trek fans that never grew up. Like, I don't understand how they can honestly look in the mirror and you know, to promote that.
Let me go back to a share screen here.
But I don't even know what that hangout is all about. Is it a bunch of amateur astronomers or is it people from ESA or? I think it's just a
No,
few
it was
guys.
people. No, it was one guy from NASA and one guy from ESA.
Really?
Yeah, that's who it was. It was one guy from NASA and IRA, and the guy
So,
from ESA was Paul.
so when they send us to Wikipedia,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's
that's
telling
funny.
me, Alberto Conti's like, you need to go to Wikipedia. I said, man, I don't know where the hell, what country you're in, but we don't use Wikipedia, you know,
They
for
can't even
reference
send
search.
us to the NASA website or the ESA website or some documents. That's kind of funny.
Can everybody see this on my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so here, this is LIGO. All right, we already saw the LISA information. So here goes. Gravitational waves are ripples in space-time. There we go. Space-time, produced by some of the most violent events in the cosmos, such as collisions and mergers of massive compact stars. Their existence was predicted by Einstein in 1996 when he showed that accelerating mass would shake space-time so that the waves of distorted space would radiate from the source. Now, it says that he predicted. He never proved that they existed. He just says, if this happens, if you get these two stars to collide, this is what could happen. Could happen.
Yeah. Possibilities.
Why? When? I don't understand when they got on this bandwagon to prove
funny part-
his equation. Why are they trying to prove this guy's theories, man? Why?
Because they all think it's true, so they try to do everything they can to prove it. Because everyone assumes, almost every scientist assumes that it's true and it's correct. So sooner or later you will find something that you think, that's the proof.
And here they go. These computer models have allowed us to construct precise gravitational waveforms, i.e. the pattern of gravitational waves emitted by black holes as they... But look, we can't even create a black hole on this Earth, because if we did, we'd be in a shitload of trouble.
We are already begun by now.
And how I caught
It's
this
even
guy...
real.
I caught that guy, Paul, lying. And no, I think it was either Paul or Ira. Ira says that they were able to detect massive black holes for 1 second. And then he said it, and then he made a comment saying it was somewhere around 1/100th milliseconds. Okay? No, bullshit. Because even if a massive black hole were to appear for maybe 1/100th of a millisecond, you'd have a serious fucking electromagnetic and gravitational disruption. And it would be noticed. Meaning that you'd feel the whole fucking Earth move. It'd be micro, but you'd swear, they'd be getting, if you ever gone to those websites where they actually monitor earthquakes around the planet, you would literally see every single detector become activated at that very moment. And to tell you the truth, if you go to one of those websites where they detect earthquakes from around the world, just record it for a day and see how many simultaneous activities earthquakes occur around the planet. And then that might be able to allow you to triangulate a location of a few large hadron colliders, which are literally fired up to full power doing some crazy shit. Because they say that there's a few other LHCs around the world that they don't know where they are. We know that there's 3 or 4 in the United States. We know that there's a few in Europe, but China says that they have one, and I've been hearing some rumors that they might have built one under the ice in Antarctica. That's why they brought the large tunnel boring machines down there. They use the same tunnel boring machines to build CERN. The same tunnel boring machines. They use it to build CERN. So why would you need 4 of your largest tunnel boring machines in Antarctica? What are you digging for? Oh, you're creating an LHC under the ice. Because you want to know why they would do it under the ice? Because electromagnetic environments actually become stronger in cryogenic environments. How about that shit? It's a way to naturally cool a collider without literally spending shitloads of money on cryogenic components to keep it cool.
Well, and it helps. keeps the Curie point down, right? So you have higher
Exactly.
magnetic property.
But guess what happens? Eventually, that fucking ice will start to melt because of all the heat. But they're assuming that based on the laws of thermodynamics and thermal equilibrium, that more ice will start to pile up, so that if ice is melting, then they don't have to worry about it. They still have more ice up on top. You know, they've had a few nuclear spills down in Antarctica. I've got the documentation on that. They had a massive nuclear cleanup that took over almost 8 years. And the U.S. was the one who caused it. They weren't supposed to have nuclear anything down there. And they kept it hidden. They never talked about it. One of the reactors went critical. Literally. A reactor went critical, and a lot of radioactive coolant actually spilled into the water and into the ice. They had to clean that place up. Yeah, this is crazy. This is crazy. I'm really interested in this now. I'm really interested in this now because I keep hearing about it, and I saw the article today where they said they detected it for the second time. Okay, well, the third time's a charm, right? Let's see what happens the third time you try to do it. And then let's compare all of the data. How do we know this was a black hole merger? You don't, dude.
Do you think black holes are a real thing?
What was that?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, you first, you started.
No, I just was saying, do you think that black holes are a real thing?
Here's what I've been learning of what a black hole could be, okay? A black hole, they're theorizing, what the Fermi Lab is saying. They're theorizing because Stephen Hawking changed his position on black holes. He's saying, oh, they're not destructive anymore, right?
Yeah.
They're theorizing that black holes could be like a glob of detectable antimatter that somehow joined with what they're also titling and associating with what they call dark fluid. That's where the whole fluid environment kind of thing came from that I've been listening to recently. But they don't know for sure. They don't know how the black hole. They think, oh, yeah, it's been a collapsed star from a supernova that everything just collapsed on it. They don't know. That's the point. So they're throwing out all these theories based on what they believe. They can't create it in a laboratory, so they just throw it out there and says this can't be disproven. So let's just put it out there because nobody will be able to debunk this.
Yeah, but they prove one thing. They know that out there in space is absolute zero, almost.
Zero what?
Temperature, absolute zero.
And if it is absolute zero, you and I talked about this, Tiago.
Yeah,
I
know.
Then that means we talked about it. Then if it's absolute zero, that means that superfluid helium is what the rest of the environment is.
Yeah.
Superfluid helium.
Said it was 2.3 Kelvin. The radio spectrometer or whatever came back that.
2.3?
Don't quote me, but
it's almost the lambda point. The lambda point is 2.17.
This is crazy, man. This is just crazy. I mean, for them to talk about that stuff the way they did, I mean, it's just, you know, it was frustrating for me as a graduate student. I'm like, yeah, you guys are really discouraging me. You're not discouraging me because I know you're lying. You're discouraging me with the fact that you actually believe this shit. Why the hell would I want to get a master's degree in applied physics? When I know that I'm going to be forced into believing and saying the same thing that they say. Or just keep my fucking mouth shut.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a 2-year-old son. There's no way I'm going to let him finish school believing this shit. See, here's what I think is going on. I think they can't come up with another equation that can compete with Einstein's equation. That's what I think. I think that somebody is trying to come out with a new equation to answer all this shit, and it totally would negate all the science that's been pushed in front of our faces for over 60 years.
The
That's what I
cosmological
think.
constant. They've come up with that.
Oh my! Do you know?
10 to the power 82, they say.
Oh my God! That has to be, And here we are. We're talking about that has to be the answer, because think about this: if you take Einstein's theory of relativity out of science and you prove that what he did was bullshit, you know what you have to do. You know what happens? That means that school, as you know it, from kindergarten to fucking the PhD level, has to stop.
Yep.
You have to stop teaching, because everything that we know, social science, mathematics, physics, basic fucking balancing your fucking checkbook, all of that stops. Because guess what? Every algorithm that has been used is based on what Einstein talked about in his papers on the theory of relativity. They would literally have to say, holy shit, time has to stop, because time don't exist, space don't exist. Everything that we taught you, oh fuck it, press the reset button. We gotta wipe everybody's brain clean and do a reset. That's basically what you'd have to do. You'd have to literally get everybody sitting in front of the TV, and then just some really bright flash comes over, just like in Men in Black. Remember in Men in Black? Hey everybody, you want to gather around here? I want you to look at this little red light, and I want to thank you for coming in, and hit the button, and it just wipes everybody's fucking brain clean.
Buy sunglasses.
I think they might actually be doing that, and that's maybe one of the reasons why they're perpetrating the hoaxes. Maybe they have this.
No, they know the answers.
I go with what Event Skeptic says. I think they do have it, because what everybody's been talking about, this Mandela effect shit. Everybody's been talking about the Mandela effect, and it's increasing every fucking week. I see a lot of channels where people are actually talking about the Mandela effect. You know what? I actually thought it was a racial fucking connotation everybody was using. I thought they were referring to Mandela being in prison and shit, and he wanted to forget that he was in jail.
Well, no, some people remembered because they released a movie at the same time he died, so people thought he died in jail. That's what the Mandela.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, I've been hearing a lot about that. And here's the thing: when people get together and start talking about the flat Earth, they think, oh, they're just talking about the Earth's flat. No, you don't understand. We already know that. We know you secretly agree with that. Now we want to know why the hell you're lying about it. Because that one lie is leading. Look at all the other lies. Science is going to be done. I don't think this is really all about NASA anymore and ESA.
The physics are completely reversed, basically. Not all of the science, of course.
Oh my God, man! I think I need to go back. I think I need to resort back to basic addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. I think that's what I need to go back to, because I can't trust. Trust the math.
Did you guys see when they were trying to figure out the best way to make a detailed holographic image, that instead of using voxels, a three-dimensional system, they actually had to use a two-dimensional plane?
Oh my! They showed that on that chat?
No, I'll put the link in here. It's a science talk. Yeah.
Show it again. Share, and show it to everybody. Show it to everybody. Go ahead and share.
Yeah, I'm just pulling it up right now here.
This is crazy, man. I mean, the truth was in the documentation. It doesn't have to be my conjecture or my opinion or your opinion, Event, or GeoShifter, or Anthony. It's not our opinion. We read the documentation. They showed us a cartoon, man.
Yeah.
They showed us a cartoon illustration.
Another one.
Cartoons and animations, all the time.
They showed us a cartoon illustration.
Well, it's like Hollywood, NASA, Hollywood, ESA, it's all the same.
Yeah.
Because I was watching a new NASA video today. I believe they released it today or yesterday, and it's about a new mission that they are going to do to Mars. Not a manned mission, but another unmanned mission. And during the talk, that guy, at one point, he said, "Hey, who knows Wall-E from the movie Wall-E? He was flying with a fire extinguisher." And then he said that spacecraft that they will send to Mars next will work at the same principle. So the rocket thrusters is made with the same propellant from fire extinguishers. That's how they will go to Mars.
So they're going to use CO2, and supposedly the vacuum of space to propel the rocket.
I believe so. I have to watch it again to.
Pressurized fucking CO2. Well, I mean, that's basically
it was not CO2. It was some sort of coolant that they use in fire extinguishers also.
That's crazy, dude.
But anyway, it doesn't matter. Just the fact that they mention it like that and they mention the movie makes it look so ridiculous.
I think. Are you presenting, Gio? Event?
Yeah, I got it up here. So basically,
hang on. I need to make sure that you're presenting to all.
He is. I take care of it.
How do you do that?
You click on it.
Yeah, click on the down arrow on my name.
Yeah.
Okay, present to everyone. Okay, got it.
Oh, okay, so these four guys, they're basically talking about how to get the most depth and detailed hologram by shining light through this film. And they want to know, like, how can they get inside the brain and inside the clown's nose? And so what they did was they tried to create this type of mapping system, they're calling it, called voxels. You see how they're three-dimensional? The X's and O's, ups and downs, ones and O's, you know?
Yeah.
It's basically a three-dimensional binary system, and they found out that it didn't work. They were able to get an infinite amount more clarity from, where's the 2D picture, which is just incredible. I don't know why or how.
That's crazy, dude.
Here it is. Why isn't it showing that?
Yeah.
There.
You got the audio muted.
Yeah. I'd have to turn stereo on. I'll leave the link. I'll put it. But you see how it's a two-dimensional plane?
In Belgium, it's called OXO, and it's a game, and it's not something that scientists do.
Well, the X's and O's are just ups and downs.
Yeah, I'm gonna play tic-tac-toe.
5 scientists on a stage looking at cartoons and stuff like that.
Well, these guys are actually kind of manning up here with some of the topics and admitting that, you know, black holes and everything are basically imaginary. This Leonard, I believe it's Leonard Susskind, he basically was the one who basically shit on Stephen Hawking. It's interesting because they talk about our realm as a room, basically with walls and a ceiling and a floor, which is really incredible.
This is all going back to what I said, Tiago. Remember when I said nothing was real? I mean, it's just a simulation, man.
Yeah, we are living a simulation.
We're just living in a simulation, man. We can't get beyond the fucking computer model. That's the problem.
They're trying to distinguish between, you know, in physical or whatever. It's still in a debate. Like, it's not proven yet. So
they know that up there nothing is physical. They know
this
that.
is a simulation, I want to be a hacker.
This is same here. I'd want to be, you know, a really prolific hacker, because that way I'd be able to punch in the code and say, hey, I want you know, a chocolate cake to pop up on GeoShifter's desk right now, and he'd be like, whoa, what was that? Oh, you remember that movie Deja Vu with Denzel Washington?
yeah.
Remember?
Oh, yeah.
It was the National Reconnaissance Office who had developed the capability to transport something back in time. And he says, well, hey, if she's still alive, can we send a note to myself 4 days ago, put it on my desk so I see it, and I can stop this whole thing? And what did they do? He wrote down a note, they put it into that accelerator, right? Some sort of matter accelerator, and the damn note appeared on his desk 4 years before. I mean, 4 days before. I mean, this is a movie that they put out in the early 2000s, man. There was Deja Vu. Deja Vu. So when I heard them say it was a National Reconnaissance Office, I started looking at some of NRO's documents, and there was some interesting shit that I found, okay, that referred to a program. The Hexagon Project referred to a program called the Projector Project. Project Projector. But guess what? Program's still classified. Now, when you hear about that term, projector project, first I had thought, okay, they're putting shit up in the sky. Then I realized, well, that's not possible. I mean, well, they could, but eventually you'd see a glitch. But now when I correlated that to that movie Deja Vu, and this, projecting certain, multidimensional objects so that they appear to be real, it explained that movie Deja Vu, what the projector project is. They can literally put an image in front of you or put the appearance of the physical image in front of you based on a particular distance and how the light is actually reflecting and refracting off of it, and you go to reach for it, and something takes your attention away, and then when you look again, you'll be like, hey, didn't I have, some french fries right there just now? Did you just take my french fries? And your friend's looking at it, no, I didn't take your french fries, and you're going a little crazy thinking, no, I could have swore I just saw that. So could that be happening? Could that be happening to this day? Who the hell knows? But whatever they're doing,
that's why they put chemtrails, man. The chemtrails are doing something. They are not poisoning us.
Yeah, they don't want you to see.
They are fooling us.
Yeah. Holographic Invasion was it was a movie, Deja Vu, with Denzel Washington. I would play it on the channel, but no, I ended up getting a copyright strike.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I ain't letting that happen. That's been happening to a lot of people lately.
Yeah, I have
a lot of people.
Only copyrights of ads. They put ads on my videos only. They don't block it, so it's cool.
Yeah, man. Same thing happened.
Let them earn some money or whatever.
That's
what they do. I wanted to do this short hangout with you guys. I wish it could go for hours and hours and hours, but unfortunately, got other responsibilities. But I want to give you guys all the heads up to let you know I'm going to be setting up live phone calls with the Federation Aeronautique Internationale. I need to ask them about a few records that are in their record books and a few records that should be in the record books that are not there. So I'm going to be asking specific questions about the Chandra telescope, the Hubble, Baumgartner. Someone sent me an email telling me that the person who was responsible for putting this stuff in the database was actually charged with criminal fraud for putting information in a database known to be false. So I'm looking into that right now. I'm looking into it. I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm looking into it.
That depends on what you perceive the word is.
Yeah, I like that one. Someone said that to me before. I've heard that. I've heard it. It depends on what is, yeah. But for me, they said that his record was at 127,000, I think 400 something feet. But when you look at the video really close, I've looked at similar footage. They claim where a balloon was at 120,000 feet, and then I compared it to Baumgartner's, and I don't think Baumgartner was at 127,000 feet.
And let's think about something. Imagine the quantity of balloons that were launched all along these years, centuries, maybe.
Yeah.
Where is all that helium, man?
Well, according to somebody else I heard, NASA has they're scrambling to figure out where they're going to get more helium from.
They are collecting it from the air.
Yeah, because I pulled up a procurement order based on some data I got from the General Accounting Office on NASA, and you won't believe how much money they spent on helium just last year. The money that they got last year from Congress, from the Senate appropriation, they spent over $3.5 billion on helium. On helium. $3.5 billion on helium. Dude, I'm gonna tell you here right now. You give me 100 grand worth of helium, and you'll see my fucking fat ass floating up in the sky every day.
It doesn't surprise me. I think they use it all the time to get up. The rockets, that's just the Hollywood part. The thing how they really goes up, that's what they don't show us, I think, and I think that's helium.
Yeah, well, they were showing valves on the ISS the other day. Jaron was actually screen sharing, and he was like, he didn't know what it was, and it looked like a helium valve on the ISS itself.
Oh my God, man! And you know, I put up that video with the NASA Robonaut. I saw a video today that Educate Yourself put up where they showed the robot that I showed didn't have any legs. The one she showed had legs. And I don't know if you guys saw my earlier videos. You know what Robonaut used to be called, right? In the early days, it was called the Phantom Torso. Now, here's the funny thing about it. The Phantom Torso, meaning, hey, we got something up there, but it's not supposed to be up there.
By the way, did you know that NASA did some experiments, I believe in the 50s or the 60s, where they let people live in a helium environment underwater?
I've heard of that. I've heard of that. I've heard of that.
I was pretty amazed by that. There is even a phone call of one of the astronauts doing a phone call with a strange voice because he was living on helium.
Yeah. Well, you know they have an underwater facility off the coast of Florida called Nemo.
More than one, I think, yeah.
Yeah, they have more than one right off the coast. And the astronauts go down there to get the same experience they would if they were going to be on the ISS, which begs the question, what I've been saying all along. I was in the military, okay? You train the way you're going to operate.
Yeah.
And nobody has been able to answer the question for me since I've been talking to NASA. And I've got a professor who's actually an adjunct professor at the university who worked for NASA. He says water is the best environment we can create, simulate space in. And I said, sir, were you ever in the military? He goes, no. I said, well, let me tell you something. I was. And we always train the way for the environment we're going to go into. Okay? We always do training exercises and ramp-ups to deployments based on the environments we're going to go into. They're training in the water all the time. The largest vacuum chamber in the world at Glenn Research Center is man-rated, which means you could put people in it. So I said, since you built that facility, why are you not putting people in there to simulate space, if that's what it's supposed to be? He says, you know, that's a good question. I said, well, you just gave me a good answer. You're going into some sort of fluid type of dynamic environment. You know, NASA is heavily involved and interested in fluid dynamics. If you guys start researching what they're doing in their research study of fluid dynamics, I'm telling you, stick with this fluid dynamic concept on why they're training in water and where they could possibly be going, because I've got the NASA manual, okay? The manual, the Space Shuttle Operating Manual. And I have to continue to read it, but I'm going to say something that might interest you guys. They said that the shuttle has a max velocity capability of 500 knots, meaning that if it was coming in back from space, it can't handle more than 500 knots. That's what they said. 500 knots. Now, that's about the same speed of a commercial airliner. Yeah. Am I wrong on that?
Yeah, but that's nautical's boat speed, right?
Well, they said in the document, in their own document, it was 2008, they say 500 knots. And get this, there was another piece of interesting data, and I had problems downloading the software for orbital simulations, but they said that the shuttle, and I'm going to see if I can actually pull that damn document up so everybody can see it, because I don't want somebody just taking my word for it. I've got to stick to my models. Not what you know is what you can prove. They say in the document that the shuttle takes a vertical trajectory of 57 degrees azimuth. Okay, 57 degrees. And it can't go below or above that in orbit. When it reaches its orbital Earth angle, it can't go above or below that. Let me see where I can find this. Okay, I got the document here. Let me do a share screen real quick. Show this to everybody. This a long. It's literally 1,100 pages, so I'm literally still reading it, because someone called me and said something interesting, that the real shuttle actually is a single-seat piloted aircraft. I found that to be strange. That's what they said to me, that it was a single seat. So let me see if I can find this 57.
Yeah, and I also found out that a lot of the astronauts all come from the Marine.
What was that?
Most of the astronauts, I did some research a few months ago, looking up every astronaut on Wikipedia, looking up what they did before NASA, what they had as hobbies and stuff. And most of the astronauts all come from the Marine. And a lot of them have hobbies like diving and sailing. That's kind of strange.
Okay, here it is. Here it is right here. I just found it. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Hang on, I just found it. Look what it says. It says launch and landing sites. Okay? It says a 35 degree azimuth launch places the spacecraft in an orbital inclination of 57 degrees, which means the spacecraft in its orbital trajectories around Earth will never exceed an Earth latitude higher or lower than 57 degrees north or south of the equator. A launch path from KSC at an azimuth of 90 degrees due east from KSC, that's the Kennedy Space Center, will place the spacecraft in an orbital inclination of 28.5 degrees. Guess what? That orbital inclination is literally 5 degrees greater than the claimed XY axis of tilt of the Earth. The Earth is supposed to be at a 23.5, maybe 24 degree tilt. The Earth. Now, we're stationary and level, but the outer atmospheres are supposed to be, one of the layers or two of the layers should be at a 23.5 degree, 24 degree tilt. Look at the orbital inclination at 28.5 degrees. So when you look at the angle, all of the photos are taken from the ISS and the space shuttle missions, put in that mathematics, and then that explains why everybody claims that the Earth is a fucking ball and they think it's round. There's the math right there. There goes the numbers right there. You put that in and you find the software where you can do the orbital simulation and put in this number, and I guarantee you'll be able to create that 2D, 3D image of why you see curvature. There it is right there. And then there's something they say about 500 knots. Hang on. Let me pull that up so you guys can see it. Again, I don't want anybody taking my word for it. Here's what they say. And this is on angle of attack. This is coming back in to the surface of the Earth. They said below Mach 0.9 on entry, the MVR tape swaps with the KEAS digital box. The KEAS tape ranges 0 to 500 knots. So what happens to the shuttle if it's going faster than 500 knots? What's happened to it? Because it has to be coming in faster than 500 knots, right? Because it gets out of the atmosphere supposedly at 5 times the speed of sound. This is below the speed of sound. You're trying to tell me they don't know where the hell they are until they get to about 500 knots? When? This is their manual, people. This is the Space Shuttle Manual.
Aren't they going 17,000 miles an hour?
Huh? That's what they said. They're going 17,000 miles an hour. But this is the Shuttle Crew Operations Manual. They tell you everything in this document. They tell you everything. I'm still reading it. I'm not even on 200 pages. I'm writing down notes.
Already finding out different calculations.
Yeah, I'm finding different calculations. Oh, and get this. You guys are going to love this one. You're going to love this one. Oh my God, you're going to love this one. You're going to love this. You're going to love this. Check this out.
I'm already loving it.
How many miles per hour do you guys think the Earth rotates? Take a guess. 1,000? Wrong. Wrong. According to NASA, I'm 100-mile difference is a big deal. The Earth rotates from west to east at a speed of approximately 900 nautical miles per hour.
What?
That's what they say. It's not me saying it, Event. It's NASA's document. They're saying it.
90 degrees?
90-degree azimuth. From due east launches at 90-degree azimuth, the Earth's rotational velocity adds to the velocity increased by the SRBs and main engines.
That's strange.
They said approximately 900 miles an hour, which means that the Earth could be moving slower, or it definitely moving faster than 900 miles.
So basically, because I believe it's just the back engineering of the sun's path. So if you're shooting away from the sun, they're saying due east is the optimum launch direction, which is just crazy.
That's what they say. So if they're going east, where do you think that shuttle is going once it gets out of line of sight? It's going to fucking Diego Garcia. That's where it's going. It's going vertical 90 degrees, and then it takes that easterly trajectory towards Diego Garcia in the southern Indian Ocean. And it's landing there. And then they're probably taking a fucking submarine down to McMurdo Station and parking down there to, basically go to some underground facility to fake all their shit. To fake everything. Because the ESA, they actually have a full mock-up model of the modules of the ISS, and they can actually create microgravity on the ground.
I'd love to see a little bit more of that, because the only thing I saw was basically the levitation of a frog and like a plant.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find the ESA photo, because there's a photo out there. There's a photo out there.
But that's due to magnetic waves.
And it's funny, they launch away from the sun probably because they don't want to fly into it, right?
No, yeah. They don't want to play Icarus.
Let me see if I can find this thing, because there's actually a photo of this guy.
But I think we are working with two different physics. Our physics down here in our plane and the physics above when it becomes a liquid. The physics change. I think that's what's happening. Basically, we have different physics working.
I actually had this photo. Hang on a second.
Because one thing important that the physicists keep forgetting is that we live in a pressurized medium. And that's a big influence on all of it.
The barometric pressure is what controls the heat, right?
Yeah. Also, we can control it. That's why we have more heat where the air is more compressed at the ground level. There where we see more heat, like the heat waves. When it's the summer days on the ground, we see those heat waves.
Yeah.
So basically, as the air is compressed, there's more conductivity to light and heat and all the waves, basically.
Does anybody here study Eric Dollard at all?
I do. I had a conversation with Eric Dollard. You didn't hear that?
I really enjoy his work, and I agree with him that I don't think sunlight is you can calculate a speed, but the whole free energy thing, I don't know why he shits on that. It's too powerful for humans. I don't get that.
No, the free energy is real.
Yeah, I gotta find that. I had that photo for you guys, but it showed was it showed this doctor inside. Inside the training module, and he was literally suspended. He wasn't on wires or anything. Damn. I've got to find this thing. This might have been it.
Oh,
This is the actual module, but a doctor was actually inside here, and he didn't have any wires or anything. This is it. This is the module. This is ESA's module right here. But if you look at this here, right? This thing right here rotates. They pump some sort of gas in here.
that looks like where they fake it.
Yeah.
It sure as hell does, doesn't it? Look at, oh shit, wait a minute. Oh, those are dice hanging. I thought they were just floating. But I gotta find that photo. Like, I got it off of their website. And it shows
Those orange things are those CubeSat spheres?
No. Those are actually dice hanging from the
Okay.
ceiling. Yeah, those are actually dice hanging from the ceiling. But you know, they could easily be CGI photoshopped out to make it appear they're floating.
Yeah. That they busted themselves with that movie with Sandra Bullock.
Gravity.
It's all about gravity.
Yeah.
You have it or you don't have it.
Yeah, so here goes the other module. And here's the thing, they're showing this, but they plug this thing up, and literally all the floating's inside of here.
Columbus.
Yeah, the Columbus module. I'm telling you right now, the photo is online. I got it off of their website, and
I know.
It showed a doctor in there with his sneakers on, he had jeans and sneakers on, and he was floating around. You know, he was almost prone, but he was floating around in it. It's a photo. It's a still photo of him.
So that's a pressurized chamber.
That's a pressurized training. They can do it on the ground at ESA's training facility. They can do it on the ground. And that's why I think everybody is. That's why I think they're doing all of this.
That's why Obama keeps saying Columbus. He's talking about the chamber and Columbus.
Here goes another one here.
Yeah, they probably figured that out a long time ago already.
Yeah.
Because the footage from Skylab, where you see the astronauts floating in the big room,
Yeah,
made
totally.
me wonder for a long time. In that time, to fake something like that with green screen, I don't think they could do stuff like that back then.
Oh, and I want to tell you guys something else. This is Concordia Station, okay, out in Antarctica. You got to take 3 flights to get to this place. It's in the middle of nowhere. There's at least 150 to 200 kilometers away from all the other stations. You know how NASA describes this place, what it's like? They said the conditions here are hyperbaric, hypoxic environment, and the conditions are more extreme than being on the ISS. That's what they said. This is in Antarctica. They said the conditions here are more extreme than being on the ISS. This training facility is 8,200 feet above sea level. This place, Concordia. They said it is more extreme than being on the ISS. That's exactly what they put in their PowerPoint presentation. Man, I wish I could find that photo for you guys. Damn. Because they are busted, cold-blooded in that photo. No one paid attention to it when I first showed it. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's nothing.
You are breaking up a bit, Robert.
Oh, sorry. Let me stop doing screen share.
Or shut down Skype. Skype uses a lot of bandwidth. Has a lot of TCPs and all that stuff.
Okay, peeps. So listen, it's been fun, man. It really has been fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad everybody showed up. Tiago, if you're gonna, start up one and carry on with the the hangout, I've got a little bit of business I need to take care of.
I'm gonna leave mine for tomorrow. try to bring more information also. This is good hangouts that we should all be doing, bringing information for people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
fun.
exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone got that link. Tiago, make sure everybody get those links to the LIGO and Lisa. And why wasn't the troll in here? Here's the thing. Yeah, that was interesting. We didn't have any trolls. Did we have any trolls, guys?
No trolls. No.
I don't think so.
Dude,
No.
what? You know what? I guess my message I put out about trolls. Remember when I put out that video? That is open season on trolls. I guess they freaked out. You know, they probably think I ain't going on Robert's channel.
I haven't seen that video.
You haven't seen it? Oh
no.
Tiago, show it to Geo Shifter. He'll love it.
Go watch it.
No. Hold on. Maybe I may be able to play it for you, Geo.
But I wanted to say that the phone calls that you did to NASA, that's awesome work, man.
I'm
really question stuff now and really think about it.
And you heard the one on the Hubble, right? You see that when I told him there's a potential possibility it doesn't exist, did you hear him say, "Oh no, you're seriously mistaken"? He didn't say I was mistaken. He said, "You know, that's interesting."
Yeah, indeed, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, he resorted back to his studies, right?
Yeah. In the other call also, on some moment he also said interesting, so they are questioning it.
They're shitting bricks.
If we can make people inside of NASA question it, people that do the missions for 25 years, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, let me do that. Let me Geo Shift and didn't see that video. I want to show it to him. A lot of people liked it, you know. It's just, you know, people don't need to be trolling. I mean, they can just come in and say, "Hey, I'd like to talk to you about this. I'd like to debate this with you because I don't believe this or don't come in my house, you know, slapping my wife in the face and kicking my son in the stomach." You know, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
You know, don't do that to me. But here you go, Geo. Hang on for a second. The video is called "Flat Earth Trolling Hunting Season License Approved Sanctioned Operation." So hey, can you see it, Geo?
Yep.
Okay, hang on. There you go.
Tell where you going. Mr. Grinch.
So you get it, Geo. I'll let you see that one on your own. I don't want to think about that.
And it seems that it's working, so awesome.
Well, you know, I will say this. Something interesting has been happening. The videos that I put up with the guy I spoke with about Sophia and Hubble, right? Someone has been sending me emails spoofing YouTube's address. But of course, you know, the attentive guy that I am, I noticed something in the emails. They said that, oh, we received a privacy complaint, and you need to remove the personal identifying information from these videos or take it down completely. And I took it down at first, but then I thought, wait a minute, YouTube never responded to me on this, and they never blocked the video. They never, you know, took down the video themselves. So I got a second one. I got a second email on the one I did with the Hubble guy. When I went to go look at the background, I identified where the email came from. I know who the person is who's been spoofing YouTube and Google's emails to make it appear as coming from the privacy department of YouTube. And boy, the shit I'm going to unleash on that person, you just wait. You're going to love it. You are going to love it. I found out who was sending those emails to me and trying to get me to take that. See, whoever, the person who wants me to take down those videos is mad as hell that I was the one who actually did those calls. And if you guys notice that those videos have been mirrored on a lot of other people's sites and web pages. Yep. Half of them don't even get my permission to mirror the thing, but it went, you know, I wouldn't say it went viral, but let's just put it this way: it got a lot of attention, and now somebody's trying to get me to take it down.
Yeah, but the information that you provided was public knowledge. It was you were talking to a .gov person, just saying.
Yeah, exactly. It was public knowledge, and here's the thing: I sent an email to the real YouTube legal to tell them that, hey, whoever this is, they're spoofing your email address and bouncing traffic off your servers. Please go ahead and take whatever legal necessary action you need to charge this person with a federal crime for wiretapping and computer fraud. That's 10 years. That's 10 years. 10 years. Well, boy, let me tell you, I'm going to get a hold of this person and do an incredible video about them when they least expect it. And they're going to be outed. Because it's the same person who's been, I've been capturing every single sock puppet account they've been creating on Gmail for the past month.
Whoa. Oh, shit.
And then every single one of the email addresses, every single one of the emails they created, a dumbass doesn't have the wherewithal to have different routers to create different IP addresses from different countries. It's all going back to the same goddamn fucking IP address. And if you're listening out there, Mr. Troll, I'm coming for you. I got you.
I hope it's not Tim Osman.
No, it ain't Tim Osman. It ain't
That's
Tim Osman.
Good.
Put it this way. It's somebody that you guys would least expect it to be, and it will shock you when you find out who it is.
Can't wait for it.
I'm not shocked these days now. With a lot of knowledge that we are gaining, everything.
No, I appreciate it. But listen, I would appreciate some help on this too. So anybody wants access to the cloud files that I have to, you know, go looking in to see, you know, what you think is interesting. There's a lot of shit in there I haven't read. I just collected it and put it in there. So if you're more than welcome to shoot me an email. I will definitely give you guys access to it. You just have fun. Go in there, check it out.
We have a lot of good stuff.
Do a video on it if you want to, but this is stuff that I've collected over a long period of time. Some of it I got recently, and you know, you're more than welcome to do a video on it. You're more than welcome to do a video because some of the stuff I haven't even read yet, or I haven't completed reading it, and no one sends me data. I do my own data research. No one has ever sent me anything to research. I do it all myself. I have enough for at least 5 years worth of YouTube shows. I have that much data.
Yeah.
That's fine because I will still be here in 5 more years. I will watch it. Go ahead.
I have that much data. So feel free to contact me anytime, guys. But it's been fun. GeoShifter finally. I got to do a hangout with you, specific event skeptic, definitely. You know, Tiago. I'll be seeing you soon, my brother.
Yeah.
I'll be seeing you soon. We're coming over there soon. But yeah, feel free. I don't like doing a lot of hangouts. I'm pretty sure you guys already know that. But you know, I may be lurking on one of your hangouts one day, or maybe commenting on your channel, or sending you an email.
You are always welcome to mine.
Yeah,
so
same for
feel
me.
free. Hey,
Same for me.
I don't monitor things on a regular basis. I just popped in on that thing that they were having with that astronomy guy. But if stuff like that pops up again, because I heard NASA did a Q&A, and I missed that one. But if they ever have these open government Q&As again, please,
I will
text message,
warn
send
you.
me a message, and I will go in there and boom, I will drill them.
Yeah.
I'll drill them.
Yeah, and it's all thanks to educate yourself.
Yeah.
Because of the
I
light
did.
event she planned, everyone finds out about it.
I sent Alberto Conti. I said, hey, why don't you send me an email? Let's have a chat. I'd like to talk to you about some of this stuff. If he actually sends me an email to my Swiss email address, you better believe I'm going to fucking record it. And we're going to go live on a Hangout. I want everybody there to see it.
Nice.
Because I kept asking this guy for the data, and I want to see what he has to say. I want to see, I'm going to have the documents pulled up, and I'm going to ask him questions based on the documents and see what he has to say. And see what he has to say. It's that simple.
I think he's gonna run, you know.
Somebody, who's my eyes are wide open? Would you be willing to do an interview like Hangout? Yeah, absolutely. My eyes open. Just I'd love to do an interview Hangout with anyone. You know, just as long as it's not going to be some crazy ass, hey, you're stupid, you're dumb, blah 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 blah. Whatever. Come on, I'm not into that kind of stuff. You know, you got people on other channels that are saying, hey, this guy don't know what he's talking about. He's giving his opinion. He's conjecture. He doesn't know the science. Whatever. Listen. When it comes to that guy Negatorix, I challenged him to open mathematical calculations live so everybody could see who knew the math and who didn't know the math. He didn't want to do it. He don't want to show his face. He don't want to use his real name. So, you know, I'm not into playing that kind of game, man. I'm not into playing those games. You know, you shouldn't have nothing to hide. You want to criticize other people, then hey, come out, show yourself, tell us who you are, and you know, credentials don't really mean shit. Really, to be honest with you, because we just heard 2 PhDs lie to all of us, you know, live about, you know, some sort of physics that doesn't exist. It's common sense. We just need to use common sense. We're just using common sense tells you that's bullshit what they're talking about. But I'm going to school to understand the foundational concepts of how they come up with that shit. That's why I'm going to school. I'm not going to school to be indoctrinated. I'm going to school. I'm going into the enemy's camp to learn how they actually. Exactly. I'm using Sun Tzu's Art of War. I am literally infiltrating the enemy's camp to understand what they're planning, how they're doing it, when they're going to do it, and why they're doing it. And once I got that foundational master's degree level understanding and education, then I can say, you know what? I want to talk to Neil deGrasse Tyson. Hey, Neil, have a seat, brother. What's up? We both from New York, you know. I took the exam, too, to get into Bronx High School of Science, but I decided to say, hey, I don't want to go there, and sit him down and say, hey, listen, brother, can we talk?
I donate to that right away.
You know, because I'm literally trying to get in touch with this guy because we're from the same neighborhood in the Bronx. I almost went to that school. Of course, he's older than me, but I almost went to that school, and I decided not to. I don't know what he scored on his test or anything like that, but the thing about it is this. He's commenting on astrophysics, all right? And this guy, as high as he's ever been, is at the top fucking floor in fucking the Khalifa Tower in Dubai. You understand what I'm saying? That's the highest he's ever been, and maybe in a jet plane. The highest he's ever been is 35,000, 40,000 feet in a commercial airline. I've been higher than that in the military. So, you know, for him to be talking about astrophysics, you know, and someone's giving him the data, and he's not asking questions. Okay, can I see the real-time capture of this? Can I see this actually happening? And I don't think he's doing that. He's reading from a script, and they're telling him when to put out information, and he's not supposed to ask why. You could tell from the look on his face, he doesn't believe what he's saying. Just look at his next interview. You can tell he is getting uncomfortable with what he is saying on the radio and on television.
Well, he never gave any proofs for gravity. He just dropped the mic, right?
Yeah.
Come on, please. If Tesla were alive, Tesla would take that mic, shove it up his ass.
Yeah, completely. And he will spark in light also.
You know,
Yeah,
but here's the thing, though. Dr.
Dr.
James Gates wrote the theoretical paper on string theory. He was the one who said that there's computer code in string theory, right? Well, guess what? I've got his direct office line at the University of Maryland.
Oh.
I tried to call him, and I got a I got to be a little bit more persistent, but I'm going to try to actually get him on the phone and interview him for real. Dr. James, because I got a lot of questions to ask him on physics. He actually teaches physics at the University of Maryland. I've got his phone number to his office. To his office. So that may be my next interview, people. This is supposed to be the top mind in physics worldwide. This guy is very well respected in physics. Dr. James Sylvester Gates. No one has been able to disprove what he said regarding computer code in strings, quantum strings. No one. They can't. No one understands it. That's a guy I want to talk to. I want to talk to someone who says he's the Black Einstein. Because if you look at some pictures of James Gates, he literally looks like the Black Einstein. His hair was combed back, like Einstein. He literally, he speaks like him. He behaves like him. I want to talk to him because I didn't get a chance to talk to Albert Einstein. But if Albert Einstein is inside James Gates' head, you damn sure I'm going to ask the most simplest questions to get the most simplest answers. And James Gates, I think, can do it. I'm not looking to humiliate him, but we need to hear this conversation. You all need to hear this conversation. So when I can set up the interview, I'm going to tell him, I say, listen, sir, I'd like to record this. Of course, I'm not going to tell him to go on Google Live Hangouts, but I'm going to record the call like I did the others. And then I'm going to post it up, and you all going to hear it for yourself. I'm going to see if I can even get him on video where it's just me and him. And so you guys know it's Dr. James Sylvester Gates. But he's the top mind in physics. Top mind. Supposedly. I don't know if that means, you just kick out so many damn theories that can't be proven, and that's what makes you the top mind, because I can say a lot of incredible shit too that can't be proven, but I need to stick to my model. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
Yeah. Science.
Science.
Or it's what you can disprove, right?
You're right. It is what you can disprove. And I've gotten into trouble at the university recently for actually writing a paper to disprove something, and I didn't realize that the paper, the reference I put in it to disprove somebody else's theory happened to be the fucking head of the goddamn program. So they didn't take kind to that, and they told me to reevaluate my paper and resubmit it again.
I'll peer review that.
Yeah, so they didn't like that at all. They didn't like it. They said you need to stick to the standard models of research methodology. I said there is no standard model for what I'm talking about. Well, you're not here to create things. You can do that on a PhD level. I said, why can't I do it on a master's level? Well, so you're saying you want to be a disruptive student. Disruptive to who? So that was the conversation I actually had with just recently. So it wasn't fun. Just put it there. It wasn't fun because it was almost like a hidden threat. Go along with it or get out. So
that what happened to many guys that defied the.
Yeah, it happened to Eric Dollar. Eric Dollar they said he was a professor at the Sonoma State University, and he had a grant to study the sun for 4 years, and he wrote about some things that the university didn't like and the government didn't like it because he was getting government money, and they basically severed his employment and his tenure at the university. And look, the guy's living out of his car.
Yeah, they were paying him to try to make a lie. But
listen, when you're paid a couple of $100,000 to research the sun, and then you write a paper saying the sun's not emitting anything. There's nothing inside the sun. It's not burning anything. It's not in free space. It's in our atmosphere. When you say that shit, and you got the whole world believing the sun is out in a vacuum and is 35,000 times larger than the Earth, come on, you really think they're going to keep you on board?
Yeah, the sunspots should be brighter, right? If there's heat coming out of it.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, the stuff that he says, I had a 1-hour conversation with Eric Dollar. It's on my channel. It's Q&A.
Okay, I'm going to check that out. Wow.
That's why
it's interesting.
That's why That's why I say there's two different physics working. Up there and down here, the sun acts two different ways.
And I want to share this with you guys. And I don't have permission to actually release the document yet, but I got a document from the European Space Observatory as part of the education program. And you know they shoot lasers from the Very Large Telescope,
Yeah, yeah.
the VLT in Chile, right?
Seen video of it.
Well, they shot a laser at the moon during a supermoon when it was close, when it was huge. It was right behind the VLT. Let's just put it this way.
Where is that data?
That's in Chile. It's in Chile. The VLT is in Chile. It's the clearest skies on Earth.
Yeah.
The observatory is at 8,200 plus feet in the Chilean mountainous desert. But I'm going to tell you here right now, what I can tell you about the moon, it sure as hell ain't fucking 258,000 miles from the surface of the Earth. I can tell you that.
Oh no, no.
And the document proves it. The moon is not at fucking 258,000. It ain't even fucking 100,000 miles. It ain't even 50,000 miles. I'm going to tell you that here right now. I can tell you here right now that the moon is less than 80 miles from the surface of the Earth. They shot a laser at it. See, that facility, they can shoot lasers up into the sky to create artificial stars.
Yeah, because you know what? I saw the video of that when I was doing research, and it was following what looked like to be the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you here right now, the moon is less than 100 miles. And I got the document to prove it. I got the document to prove it. Which means that the sun has definitely got to be way closer and smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I believe also, yeah.
But I can't release that yet. I can't
Not 3,000 miles.
Yeah. But the sun has that problem of his fluctuation like a wave, you know. He has many movements. That's the problem of calculating his distance correctly.
Yeah. I can't release that document yet because I don't want to get a shitload of trouble for it. And when I say a shitload of trouble, meaning that some people are going to be really fucking pissed off. But
no,
I'm waiting for the right moment and permission to do it. But indeed, I'm telling you right now, they shot a laser at the moon, and it sure as hell ain't fucking 258,000 miles. Period. Period. And I saw a photo from ESA's website that they took. It wasn't a mosaic. I actually called them to ask if it was a mosaic. But they shot. The image was put together, but the way it was put together, it was seamless. But the center of the photo shows literally. Now, if you look on Google Maps where Chile is located, where the VLT is located, ESO, it's facing out to the Pacific Ocean. Okay. The view you see, you're looking at the Pacific Ocean, so you're looking towards Hawaii. You see the sun, the current sunset, because the photo was taken during sunset, and then in the middle of the photo, you see what appears to be another sun that's lower on the horizon, and then on the far right-hand side of the photo, you see what appears to be a sunrise. Now, get this. If you're in Chile and you're there at sunset, you see the current sunset. The second one you see is the sunset that Hawaii is going to see, or say the Galapagos or Easter Island, right? And then the sunrise will actually be the sunrise in New Zealand, because they said you could literally, on a clear fucking crystal night, literally they can see out that far. I got the photo literally in my files, and you see it clear as day. The photos were all taken at the same moment on the same day, at the same time, and you see three different suns. You see the current sunset, a bleeding sunset of what appears to be, it going away, and then it looks like a sunrise. And let me see if I can pull it up, because I know there may be some people saying, Robert, that's fucking crazy as hell. Now you're going.
No. You know what? It kind of leads me to think that it could be an AE projection map, because if the only way I could get the attack lines to work on an AE map, there would have to be 3 suns. So maybe.
Let me see here if I can find this thing. Now that's weird as hell to say that. I know it is. I know it's weird. It's crazy as hell to say that. But it was weird when I saw it, because I'm like, no, that's not possible. Maybe it's just a camera, you know. That can't be real. No, not possible. But when I called up and asked them about the photo, they confirmed it. Yeah, if you go on ESO's website, they have an entire image gallery there. Look up the VLT. Just go on their website, people. You can find it for yourself. Trust me, you'll enjoy looking at some of the photos on that website. You'll enjoy it. I know I did. You will definitely enjoy seeing the shit that they have on that website. It was incredible. All right, peeps. It has definitely been fun, man. You guys are fantastic.
Yeah.
Thanks, brother.
Hopefully we can do more of these together, man. GeoShifter should do the next one.
Yeah.
I don't do Hangouts often, but maybe, who knows?
Yeah. But you know what? Chris is out there, the Flat Earth Reality. He does a shitload of them. So,
I'm
maybe
not gonna
Chris-
do one right after this, so if
No,
he
no,
wants
I-
to start one.
But I know Chris does them at nighttime, so you guys might want to, check him out, see what he has to put up. Just make sure that crazy ass fucking Jeff Stewart is not on the channel, because if it is, you guys know how Jeff is. He don't do his hangouts unless he got a pint of fucking Colt 45 next to him and a fucking blunt. Some weed or something. But yeah, it's been fun, guys. We did have an interesting conversation. Everybody's got that data, Tiago. Make sure they all have it. And if you guys want to talk about it later sometime, just shoot me an email, man. If you find something in there, let's talk about it. Okay?
Big thanks, man. And big
Guys, man,
thanks
I
to
appreciate it,
everyone
man.
in the chat.
You guys want me to post this up or not?
Yeah, good for me.
Post the video up?
Yeah, man. You killed it. Thank you.
All right. I appreciate it, guys. You guys take care, man. Peace out.
Yeah. Take care, Robert.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.